We're joined now by Colette Phillips. Everybody knows Colette Phillips, President and CEO of Colette Phillips Communications, also founder of the GK Fund alongside Andre Porter, which provides capital, technology, and mentorship for BIPOC founders of startups and small businesses. And she has a new book coming out in January. We'll talk more about that in the days ahead, called The Includers. Colette, it's great to see you.
It's great to be here.
Could you raise your mic about an inch? Perfect.
How about
Thank
that?
you. Perfect. Thanks. Thanks.
So, Colette, when in anticipation of coming here today, I was reading a lot about previous NAACP conventions, and this line from Joyce Ferry about Bowling, political activist in town. She's been around forever. She's been involved in these different conventions. And she said she was saddened to be asked by people who came here back in previous years, 82 and stuff, can we go to Charlestown? Can we go to Bunker Hill? Can we go to South Boston? And basically, in the 80s, early 80s, that was risky business. But then I read about where your office is today. Where is it?
In Charlestown.
In Charlestown. So, I mean, we have a long way to go,
Welcome
obviously.
to
but
the new Boston.
Yeah, but that's something, no doubt,
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
It is. When I came to school here at age 17, I was told there are 4 places in Boston you should not go as a black person. South Boston, East Boston, Charlestown, and the North End.
Yeah.
Now, my office was on State Street pre-pandemic, and I was like 5 minutes away from the North End. So I used to go into the North End for lunch. And now I'm in Charlestown. So that's what a difference 2 decades have made.
Do you have a view of the water in Charlestown? Can you see the water? No. Okay. But you're close.
It's close.
You're close to the water.
Close.
Okay.
You've been working, I think, as hard as virtually anybody. There's no story about an attempt to advance the profiles and work of people of color who are entrepreneurs in the city than you. You're in the center of every one of these, for which you should, I'm sure, feel very proud. It seems to me, though, that, and we're going to talk to a couple of vendors who we spoke to the other day, Ricardo Pierre Lewis and Rose Starum, who we talked to. It seems to me that this is a sea change moment on that front. The notion that the city of Boston and the NAACP itself decided with great intentionality to ensure that virtually every vendor at this convention is a black vendor is a huge moment for me. But you'd know better than I. Is it?
I think it's a demonstration of leading by example, because if this is one of the largest black civil rights organizations, and if they don't engage and hire black vendors, then they're sending a message to the white community. You don't have to hire black people.
Yeah, but how sick were you through the years hearing leader after leader after leader say, I'd love to hire people of color who
but I
run
can't
business.
find them.
Can't find them. They don't have the experience. Well, the reason they don't have the experience is because you don't hire them.
They don't get the experience. They can't build experience and capacity if you're not hiring them.
So will this, I really do, again, I'm as cynical as the day is long. I said this to Rose and Ricardo the other day. It seems to me this is going to make a change. Come the end of this convention, you can't say that crap anymore, right?
Well, and I think we would be remiss if we also did not give some credit to both Mayor Wu and Chief Shagun Idowu, who really made it part of their centerpiece to begin to break up contracts. And that started really with Mayor Janey, so that smaller business could have procurement of under 100,000 or under 500,000, because before, small businesses and most minority-owned businesses are small businesses, and we all know small business are the economic engine. The people who are hiring people, who are innovating, are not the big companies. They're outsourcing to China and India, the Caribbean, to do the work. the people who are really providing jobs are the small businesses.
Well, you know what I found
So-
is so different and encouraging about the Wu administration. Not only that she's a young woman of color, she's allowed in her administration people of color. They're young, and it's like a whole different attitude of from the old Boston to the new Boston. So, talk a little bit about that. I mean, people that are my age, we saw some of the worst things, but if you're 35 years old now, your view is so different.
Exactly. A lot of that didn't touch those young kids. And they went to school with diverse people. So young white professionals don't have the kind of hang-ups that their parents or grandparents had because they, and it's all about your social network. If you're interacting, if you are breaking bread with, get to know, you're dating across cultural lines. This is why I created Get Connected, because people...
Explain what that is for people who don't know. I should have even mentioned. I'm sorry, Colette. Explain what it is.
Get Connected is a cross-cultural networking event I created 15 years ago to help break down the barriers, because I was tired of going to rooms where either I was the only or there were less than 5 people of color in the room. And so...
How did you do it? Because you've been in Boston for quite some time now. So how did you manage your communications business, given what you just said, going to a room and you'd be the only black person there, one of 5? How did you...
Well,
your charm, I guess, Colette, that was it. But more than that, it had to be hard.
Well, I have to say that allyship matters.
Yeah.
I was fortunate to have white males who were very open and receptive to giving a black woman the opportunity to work. And also, I think I was smart enough to say to companies as a differentiator, you are leaving money on the table if you're not marketing to black people, to Latinos, to Asians, to, immigrants who might speak a different language. And it's like, bing, 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 ching, 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 ching. It's not about, it wasn't about the color of your skin. Then. It was really about the green.
The green, yeah, okay.
So before you go, I know we're going to talk to you about this later in the year, the includers. What are we going to see in this book of yours?
The Includers is a book that really addresses why we need white men to step up and to also highlight and spotlight the white men across the country and in Boston who are working to systematically break down the barriers and the structural, systemic, racial differences to create a more inclusive world. People like Bob Rivers, like John O'Hanley at State Street, Tim Sweeney at
Rivers
Liberty
is at
Mutual.
Eastern Bank, for those who do, right?
Liberty Mutual. Tim Sweeney, the new president, he started doing this work even before he became the president. And why do I know? Because I worked with him.
Yeah, but I hope you, again, the book won't be out till January. Some white men did that because it was the right thing to do. Some white men did it because it was good for the bottom line. And a third set of white men did it because they were dragged kicking and screaming to do it.
Well, the
You would
ones who
agree?
are kicking and screaming are now the ones that are retreating from diversity, equity, and inclusion because it just was a box check for them.
Yeah.
It can't be a box check if you live in a world where 2/3 of the people don't look like you. If you want to do business in China, India, Africa, Middle East, South America, you better have a team and a staff that reflects your marketplace.
Colette Phillips, it's wonderful to see you as always.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
to be
thank
Talk
you
to you
very
soon.
much. And congratulations on your fantastic career. Really appreciate
Thank
coming
you.
in. We've been speaking